Hi, everybody. It's me, Jessica Lahore.
Hey, everybody. It's me, Kelela Cortez.
And we are your Denver Divas, bringing you another fabulous review of RuPaul's Drag Race Season 13, Episode 4. Before we get into our review of RuPaul's Drag Race, make sure to subscribe, comment below, hit the little bell for notifications, follow Kelela Cortez and myself, and get into it. Sit back, relax, and let's do it. It is now episode 4. We're at this point where you've had the most opportunity to showcase yourself than any other season.
And you know, I love that RuPaul said in the workroom that like it was good getting to know all of you very personally, but we're bringing back the elimination. And that's kind of now, like, you know, last week I was pissed that we had 3 episodes without an elimination. But now I understand it a little more because the fans always say we don't get to know the girls off top. Like it's just elimination day 1. So I get what they were doing now. You know, I thought it was a whole plot to extend the finale, but I get it now. They're trying to let everybody know each other, but honey, we know you now, so get into the game.
Okay, so this is the first time that all the entertainers are shoved into one room. They walk in and there's already kind of like the Team A, Team B, playful shit. They're coming at you.
Moments, yes.
Like you expected to. They get out of drag. They are put now into the same competition. They realize that Elliot with 2 T's is behind closed doors, but we're not going to give a lot of focus to Elliot.
All I will say about it is that y'all thought I might have been too harsh on her, but this is what I was feeling. I knew that she was the girl that she is. It all makes sense now. It all makes sense now.
So all of them after this point realize Elliot's back. They were talking shit. They come together. They love to do this hidden queen, hear the shit, come back, gasp moment. But this was not an Alyssa Edwards face crack moment where it's not the same.
I know. Can you imagine if you got there and you saw that girl come from behind the screen? It's like, okay.
Yeah, it's not a face crack at all.
Yeah, Edwards. Girl, goodbye.
You're just like, okay, great. Actually, come here. Let me say it again now that you're in the room.
Yes, but I will say those winning queens look good, especially Miss Candy Muse. She was giving me very John Wayne music video, Lady Gaga.
Oh, yeah.
Shout out to Lady Gaga with her national anthem. We love the theatrics. Yes, ma'am.
So they have to, RuPaul comes in. He pairs the queens up, the 13 that are left, into random groupings, and they get to choose their skit, but they don't get to choose their people. Or no, they assign their roles, but they don't have to choose their people. So Maxi Challenge, cheesy holiday movies, RuPaul Mark channel. Denali, Olivia, Kimora, and Elliot are in one group, and immediately off the bat, I feel like that is the worst group to be in. Like,
yeah,
of any pairing, I was like, oh wow, this is going to be really rough.
Yeah, and for all you viewers who watch this every week, and I know you do, you know that Kimora and Elliot are my girls to be in the bottom. So to put them both together, because I was trying to figure out like what is the tea? How are they pairing them up? And I was like, okay, they're putting bottoms with tops, right? Yeah. But to put both of the bottoms in one group, I was like, oh, honey.
The next group, and that one is Misery Loves Company. The second group is God Loves Flags, and it's Lala Ree, Rose, Simone, and Utica. And I was actually really excited for this because I felt like everyone's personality already like complemented each other.
Right, and I also love God Loves Flags. Like that is a cute play on words. Also, I love that you just said Utica.
Utica. That's all I can say now. Utica.
I got you, girl. I got you, bitch.
The next group is April Fools, and it's Gottmik, Joey, Jay, Candy Muse, Tamisha Hall, Iman, and Tina Burner. And the first reaction that I had was that big personalities, at least 3 to 4 big personalities.
Right. Like, how are they going to work this out? Because traditionally on Drag Race, when you put the big personalities together, it gets a little testy.
Mm-hmm. And they might. And I was kind of talking about this when I would go into this challenge. Most of the time, the smaller roles are the most impactful roles. They're the ones that you remember the most. Sometimes they're the winners. I feel like there's a lot of pros and cons to it. But if you're stuck, like if you're fighting somebody for this main role, let the bitch like have it. Does that make sense? Like at that point, kill it with what you got.
It makes sense because for me, thinking back to group challenges and like Ultimate Queen or anything, I'm like, if you don't feel comfortable doing it and it comes off like I may not be great at it, I think I should take that spot because if you think that I'm not going to be great at it, watch me show you that I'll do it.
They ultimately get to the challenge after they get through their rehearsals. The rehearsals are kind of bumpy in some areas. People that stand out that had bumpy experiences were Joey J, Kimura Hall, Denali had a bumpy experience. Tamisha at the beginning, but caught on, like took direction really well. Obviously, Tina Burner did great. So did Rose, so did Candy Muse. Utica, I thought, did really good. Olivia was good, but she was in a bad group, so that whole team kind of
honestly,
not so good.
I didn't even like consider Olivia most of the like the first half of the episode because I forgot about her because she was she was great herself, but being in that group, I just didn't even consider her. No. Isn't that crazy?
So she didn't get a lot of airtime either. I feel like she was not very vocal or talkative this episode, and I missed her in a lot of things.
And maybe that was played on because she did get so much in her first few episodes. So
that's true. And then they get into the runway. So they get the runways, then we actually see the performances. The runway theme is trains or whatever. And this is where you're gonna laugh at me. I literally thought they meant actual trains, like chugga chugga, choo choo, had no even slight idea of like a train on a garment or a train on a dress.
So I am very embarrassed for you. First of all, we also messaged about this, so all of you know, I messaged her and I was like, so I think, because you know I'm a Reddit girl, I think the challenge may be trains. Obviously, we can't do trains because we're from the waist down, bare naked. I'm not going to show you that right now.
But I loved that it was other trains because I love a good fucking train that just bellows and flies in the wind. I love it. I love it. I love it.
One of my favorite looks I've ever done had a train on it, so I will commend that as well. I love a good train look.
Cunty. It's a cunty feeling. It's good.
Yeah, it's like power. Mm-hmm.
So trains for days. The first one down the runway is Denali, okay? And I actually really liked it. So I thought that it was a fun start to it. It had the trains on it, obviously. I didn't like the red necessarily in the front because it was distracting. Made me think of an undergarment, like a bra or a panty. I liked it. It was a great start to the runway.
Well, yeah, and let's be honest. Like, it's hard in drag to really come up with like a full new silhouette that someone has never done before.
Yeah.
Because drag silhouettes are common. Like there's a common silhouette for drag. Like you're supposed to be busty up here, busty down there, and cinched at the waist. So it's common to do that. So it's hard to find a new silhouette. But I will say, as much as it may have looked like a silhouette someone else has done, I felt like it was new and revamped. And talking about how we have discussed fashion before, this is not a runway where I feel like we're looking at like a Vivienne Westwood moment. This is about drag. Yeah. Trains are drag central. Like that's something that you can go over the top. Drag is over the top. Let's do that. And I will say, let me make a disclaimer before we go on to everyone else. I'm not going to be as harsh on everyone this time because I realize that, honey, they're doing their best. The runway tonight, I feel differently about most everyone.
Yeah, I would agree with that as well. So Denali's loved it. I would say it's definitely, we'll do a cheers for that one. Cheers to that.
Yeah. Oh, yes, ma'am. A little bit.
Times. Olivia, I said that it was cute, but I wish that it was pushed farther for the concept. Like I felt like from the neck down, it was beautiful, it was wonderful, but I wanted more in the accessories and hair. But she looked gorgeous, and it was a cheers for me.
Honestly, you know what hair would look good on her? Elliot with 2T's hair.
Yeah, for real.
That little bob moment, that would have looked good with this, honey. And I'll be honest, I had to look it up. I don't remember Olivia that much, and maybe that is editing.
Olivia, you get a cheers from me.
I will say it's a like this cheers. You know,
cheers.
The half cheers. It's like by my face. It's like.
Next down the runway is Elliot, and this was definitely a safe look for me. I thought she looked beautiful as fuck. The outfit was beautiful, but when you look at it, it is a bodysuit with a belted train on it. And so I feel like it's very classic drag. I liked it. It was super clean. Makeup was great. It wasn't my hair choice, but I thought it was perfect for the theme.
Yeah. Outside of everything else she's done this week or what has come out of her, I was actually prepared, and I told you this over text. I was prepared to tell everyone, like, I was wrong about Elliot a little bit. She does have something about her that makes sense for TV. This look to me was basic drag. Like anybody who does drag can find that fabric, that look, and get it made. But it looks so gorgeous. But honestly, we've talked about this with her in her entrance look. It was very Las Vegas. Like I could tell she was from Vegas by that look, or from somewhere like Orlando, anywhere where drag is like drag.
The look itself is a cheers, and I'll give it that. It fits the theme.
I'm gonna shake my drink because it was cute, but it's like, ugh.
Next down the runway is Kimora Hall, and I feel like from head up until I saw the tail, that the tail was an afterthought to the garment. The garment was probably one of the most beautiful pieces of embellishments that I've seen on a gown, and how detailed it was. I felt like the tail in the photo shoots that I saw was more than what I saw on the runway, where it wasn't giving me the train fantasy.
Kimora is just not giving me legends. I've heard of Kimora Hall for years and years, but she's not living up to what I've heard of her.
Yeah, I completely agree with that.
And she looked good, but it's not what I know to be Kimora Hall.
Next on the runway is Simone. Sickening, I said, favorite so far, completely unexpected and so authentic to who she is.
Yes. So seeing the previews, had no idea what the fuck she was about to do. I was like, what is this light blue corsetry with that fabric or that pattern on it that I don't really like, the little floral moment. I was like, what is she doing? What is this theme? Honey, when she walked down that runway, when I knew it was trains, and she had a do-rag train, that bitch, it harkens back to her LeMay look, where she's thinking further than the actual challenge. She's like, yes, it's LeMay, yes, it's trains, but how can I plug in Simone? And Lonnie Love talked about this a little bit, who I also love. She tapped into this, like, how do I tap into Simone while also doing the challenge? And she just did it so perfectly. She serves and exudes confidence and knows Simone better than anyone can know Simone, which I know sounds stupid because it's like, how could anyone know you better than you? But as queer people, sometimes we get lost, and she really knows herself. Simone knows Simone, and that's what sells it every time.
Wow, that was really beautiful.
Yeah.
It's like you care about her. Next on the runway is Miss Lala Ree. I know that the judges raved over this look, and it was not what it was. It was good. It wasn't bad at all. Like, it fit her well. I like snake print, but maybe I wasn't crazy about it. When she took the jacket off, I wish it would have turned into like a tail for her snake hood.
Okay. I can see that. I will say though about her, maybe they were raving more so over the fabric, because when you do a monochrome look that way, like when it all matches, it comes off like expensive. It could be the cheapest fabric at Joann's.
Okay.
But when it's all matching and the lines match up and everything looks right, I could see why they were raving over it. I was also raving over it. What I was not raving over, she needs to stop with this mask shit.
Yes. I like her every single episode. I feel like some of the fashions that I see her in, there's always one thing that I would change about it, but I really like that they're all like her doing them. Does that make sense? I don't feel like she had somebody make them for her. I feel like she thought about her ideas. So next on the runway is Utica. And absolutely jaw-dropping, stunning. The reference, I thought it was beautiful. She had the clothesline behind her, big bellows of fabric. I thought it was super regal and really nice.
Yes, it was what not what I would expect because I don't expect anyone to come out in a curtain rod, obviously, but it was what I expected her take to be on it. You know, like something unconventional, something that was not like everyone else. And it was one of those moments, like you said earlier, Simone's not the only one. This was another moment where that was not a train that a drag queen would normally do. I like the outfit. I think I would say it's a cheers. It's a cheers.
Next down the runway was Rosé's look, and for me personally, I loved it. That's something that I can see myself wearing. I really love a suit, like a pantsuit, and I feel like she took elements that really worked for everything. I don't think that I agree that it looked like attached ruffles on the back, like Michelle said, but I really liked the outfit.
Yeah, I liked it. I would absolutely wear that. I also love a pantsuit moment. Pants and drag to me are just like power moments.
Mm-hmm.
But it didn't give me the pizzazz that I'm looking for from Rosé specifically, because Rosé's persona and reputation precedes her. I mean, even though I know Simone, like not everybody in the world knew Simone. Not everybody in the world knew La La Ree. Not everybody in the world knew Denali, right? But most people in drag
No,
knew
Rosé.
Rosé, right? She's been on 3 goddamn reality television shows.
Stephanie's Child, the Brother Two Sisters.
Right. As much as it was cute and it worked, it definitely fit the theme. It's Rosé is, I feel like she's holding back. She's not, or maybe that's just who she is.
I'm gonna do a cheers for Rosé.
I'm gonna do a cheers too. It wasn't bad. It wasn't bad.
The next up the runway is Gottmik in a what I called, you know, that one like the ferry that you pull the thing and it spins, and there's a meme of it.
The Barbie fairy.
Barbie
Yeah.
fairy. So it makes me think of that in trans-colored fabrics as a train.
Yes. I was confused because I honestly did when she came down the runway. I thought it was a gun that she put in her mouth.
I thought so too.
I was like, okay, I love that. That's very on my brand. I am thinking it's sickening. And then I realized it wasn't a gun. It's like a blowing moment. I was like, okay, that's different.
Next down the runway is Tina Burner. And I have like mixed feelings about this. I like Tina's drag a lot because I like that kind, like this is that train thing that I was talking about. It was different. Yeah. It was so campy and ridiculous. There's also a fine line of some of the pieces that I see that are just real tacky.
Yeah, well, see, that's the problem with me for camp. Like, I want y'all to know, I want you to hear me very clearly. I do not hate camp drag. I love camp drag. Mm-hmm. But when it goes from camp to tacky, it bothers me. It's like I love a queen who can understand that she's just not that girl. She's not a Simone. She's not a fashion girl that way. But you can still be fashion. It's the same way I think about trash queens. You can be a trash queen and still be polished.
There you go.
But I will say, as for cheersing people, I don't think there's anybody that I'm not going to cheers. I think they all did well.
It's the level of cheers?
Yeah, it's like the level of cheers. I think they all did well. They just didn't do... All of them didn't do what I thought they would do.
Oh, and next on the runway is Joey J. And I said that I actually liked this. I liked the idea of it, but what I liked about it was when she turned around and had the lips with the tongue coming out that had the piercing. I did not get it when I first saw it, and I was like, come on, like this is not enough for me. That's really all I have to say. I cheers it. It's a loose cheers for me because I liked it out of creativity. There were just certain details that I wish that were more thought through.
Yes, and I think that's something Joey J, I hope she focuses on throughout the remainder of her time on the competition, whether she wins or not, is just think about it a little more. It's still a cheers. Okay. It's not yet me drag race status.
I get a little shaky shake. The next person on the runway is Candy Muse. She looked rough.
There's literally tears in my eyes thinking about what she looks like.
Yeah, it was rough, the outfit. I feel like if she did not, she solely relied on doing so well in the acting challenge because the garment was not there for me. The makeup was not there for me. To me, this was very like thrown up last minute, and it bothered me that she was in the top because of it.
Okay, well, and in your review show, I don't know if you watch Untucked with them,
Mm-hmm.
but in Untucked, she does say it was thrown together. So that made it make more sense for me. I will say the garment wasn't terrible to me. It was not anywhere near comparably great
It
to
wasn't
anyone
a
else.
train though.
It was, yeah, it wasn't,
It
it
was a
wasn't what
dress.
anyone else was giving.
It was not good. It's definitely a shady sip from me. You said
I don't
everything.
even want to sip about it. I don't even want to sip about it because I'm sad. I love you. Y'all know this. If you watch this show, I love Candy
And
Muse.
that's
But
not what this is about. It's not about her. It's about the garment.
yeah, it was just so not right.
The next person down the runway is Tamisha Iman, and I personally did not enjoy any of it.
Nope. I will say off top, as soon as she turned the corner, it looked like last week. It looked like last week. It looked like it was the same dress in a different color
With a
or
different
the same moment. Not maybe not the same dress, the same moment in a different color. And you talked about this last week. I felt bad because I was also prepared with Tamisha Mon to come on here and say, I was wrong about her. I've been too harsh about her. I shouldn't be that way. She is a legend, icon, diva. But you said this last week. I hope last week was good, but I hope that she continues on in a more futuristic way. She heightens it up. And
she has
it almost like reverted back to
she has to
natural. Like,
upgrade her looks. She's
and
now
it's not
showcased herself. She has to start showing her fashion forward and her creativity with that. She can't wear this classic drag all the time anymore.
it honestly looked like a version of last week to me. Girl, continue.
All of the queens have done their runway. They now have to stand and they have to watch all their performances. So right off the bat, all three of these acting challenges, I think, are the three, not three worst because of how they performed, but of all the seasons that had acting challenges, this was the most like I needed to be on drugs to watch it. I didn't get it. I didn't understand it. What was the purpose? What was the intent? There were goods. There was it was pretty flatlined across the board. There were some that did really good, some that did awful, and then you had people safe. That's really how I felt about this.
Right. The idea I thought was good. I was like, oh my God, this is so smart. Like RuPaul Mark, Hallmark moment. I thought that was smart. But then the execution thereof, I was like, what? And then when it came on, I was just like, wait, did they even represent the holidays they were talking? I just didn't get it. It was all confusing.
And each story had the same characters but flipped. The
Right.
same ending with the man, the same mystical creature, the same office business lady kind of thing, and the same like fourth party character, like random character.
Right. And it's like, at what point does it start to make sense? I would love to know.
So they do this acting challenge, and when it comes down to it, everybody is dismissed safe to Untucked, excluding Simone, Denali, Lala Ree, Kimora Hall, Candy Muse, and Rose. Everyone gets their critiques, and when it comes down to it, the bottom or the top winner is Simone. Simone deserved to win. It was you kind of knew at that point. Simone also fucking killed it in the acting challenge.
Exactly. She came on ready to go. She's super aware of how to interject Simone into everything.
Everything.
I still don't feel like she was acting. I felt like she was Simone, but I know she was being a character. That's why she won.
Yeah, Simone's the winner. The bottom two end up being Denali and Kimora. And when I was saying it, I was like, either they're gonna do Denali and Kimora because they want the like friendship from Chicago battle drama romance thing, but I honestly thought it was gonna be Lala Ree and Kimora in the bottom solely because Lala Ree did not do good in the acting challenge.
Yeah, I was actually worried about Tamisha Iman because although she ended up doing well, she was coached into doing well. Like,
but she was safe, or she was safe.
Right. No, I'm just saying what I thought originally beforehand. I thought originally that Tamisha was going to end up being in the bottom. And it was shocking to me that she wasn't even on that lineup because she was coached into it. So based on who was actually in the lineup, I could totally see how I could totally see how Lala Ree would end up maybe possibly being in the bottom. But I'm so glad she didn't because I love her so much and I didn't want her to be in the bottom. I still don't understand Denali being in the bottom. I did not think that Denali's flatness in the acting challenge was worthy of the bottom too because of her runway moment.
Unfortunately, it is Denali and Kimora Hall in the bottom, and they have to lip sync to what's the song?
100% pure love.
They lip sync. It's obvious that Denali is the winner.
Oh, clearly.
Like Kimora is trapped in this gown at this point. It's heavy. I don't expect her to like perform the house down anyway, but she is trapped in this gown.
But no, because 100% pure love. I know drag queens that could serve it by just standing still. They never moved. It could have been one of those Latrice Royale.
Wait, against somebody that's flipping, tricking, walking?
Yes.
On the same time.
Well, even if she didn't win, even if she wouldn't have won, I think she still could have stayed still and done better than just walking around the stage.
Regardless of whatever the reason was, she did not win. We all kind of knew it was going to happen. She got sent home, and there are now 12 queens remaining. So next week is the ball challenge, and I think that this is really interesting because it's bags for the ball or something like that.
Right.
I was talking with people. They're really knocking out the skill sets that they're looking for earlier on than I have in other seasons. The ball is usually saved for the end of the season.
Right.
4 or 5 girls after Snatch Game. Exactly.
Yeah.
So
Snatch Game is like the original moment
that
they knock people out.
So they've knocked out a lip sync for your life so they can see how you perform. They've knocked out a singing challenge already, a dance group challenge, an acting challenge, a fashion challenge, and then you have the runways. But those are separate for me. So those are things that they're already looking for. Now it's a sewing challenge. Now it's a sewing and creation challenge. So they're really, and they've only eliminated one queen and they've had these many tests. They're already seeing what they want to see. This is what I think is so interesting about the season. Well, regardless, we have next week to check out with that ball challenge, bags and ball. We are so excited that you've been watching, subscribing, and sticking tuned with the Denver Divas RuPaul's Drag Race review. This was episode 4. Make sure to comment below what you like, what you don't like, what you want to see, what you want to hear, and we'll see you next time. Bye, everyone!
Bye, everyone. Welcome to Jessica's Caucasian home. I'm back. Here, girl. You should